And this is an art supply that I honestly think every artist should own, no matter what. I've been making art for over 7 years, and over those years I've used a huge variety of art supplies, from regular pencils to markers that can literally blend by themselves. And we'll get to that a bit later. But with the popular art trends changing every single year, it can be really tricky to know what art supplies to get. But lucky for you, in this video I'm going to be going through some of the best, cheapest and trendiest art supplies to get in 2024, so you know exactly what to get and don't spend your hard-earned money on the wrong equipment. So without further ado, let's begin. Starting out with the sketchbook. Now I know that there are thousands of sketchbooks out there with all these different labels about GSM, material, and dimensions, and it can feel really overwhelming. But let me break it down into simple terms for you guys. Essentially, there are so many different paper types because there are so many different art mediums, and different paper types are better suited for different art mediums. But how do you know which one to choose? Well, the first thing you need to know is what you're actually going to be drawing with. Do you want to be an artist that uses markers to blend? Are you going to be a ballpoint pen artist, a paint marker artist, or even a traditional watercolor artist? Well, once you figure that out, it's so much easier to pick a sketchbook, because usually sketchbooks will say on their cover or description what they're best suited for. See, on this sketchbook, it's pretty clear that this one is made for watercolors, and similarly for this Ohuhu sketchbook, it's specifically made for markers. And then when we take a look inside, you see that they work perfectly. And when we look inside of the marker sketchbook, they work awesome as well. Now I know you guys are probably wondering, what sketchbook do I use? And personally, my favorite sketchbook as of recently has been this bad boy right here. This is Ohuhu's marker art sketchbook, I think. And also for all these products that I'm showing, the link for all of them is in the description of this video. And some of the other ones I use are this moleskin one right here, this smaller Ohuhu one, and the watercolor block too. All of which are also in the description. Now that's it for sketchbooks, but this next art supply I literally use in every single one of my drawings. And that special art supply is my phone. Now I know what you guys are gonna say, Shrimpy, your phone is not an art supply. You can't draw with your phone. But I disagree, because devices help me find inspiration and references for all my drawings, and I literally use references in all my drawings, and a lot of artists do as well. So make sure to use your devices to find references and images to inspire your work, but make sure not to straight up copy another artist's work, as that's going to be plagiarism. Now for this next art supply, I honestly think every artist should own one of these no matter what. But before we get to that, let me go through some of the basic stuff that I use. One of the most common things I get asked is, what pencil do I use? And the answer is the Tombow Monograph Mechanical Pencil. This one's gonna cost you a little bit of money, but it is a super nice pencil. And it also looks really nice too. Look at that, so aesthetic. And then for the refills for it, I use this Pilot 0.5mm refills. Then for my eraser, I use an anti-smudge and anti-dust Faber-Castell eraser, just like this. Pretty simple stuff. But a lot of artists nowadays are also using this rubber here, which is very trendy, which is called a kneadable eraser, which you can literally roll on your page to rub out your sketch lines. And then the last essential I use is just a ruler. A ruler is just always super handy to have. But now for that mysterious art supply that I said every artist should own no matter what, I was referring to one of these bad boys. Now if you don't know what this is a white ink gel pen. Let me show you what they do. If you've ever seen an artist add these beautiful white little highlights on top of their coloring, just like this here, this here, this here, they probably were using a white gel pen, just like this one right here. See, just like that. Wow. But honestly, all the stuff I've gone through so far is just my basic essentials. And now let's get into the interesting stuff. Starting out with one of the most famous and satisfying art supplies in the entire world right now, Posca markers. If you've ever seen one of those really satisfying art videos where the markers sound like, and they were probably Posca markers. And because these markers act like paint and they're super opaque, you can make artworks like this right here, where it has a really solid, strong, and comic book-like style. And just recently, there's been a new paint marker brand that's come out, and they are Artex acrylic markers. Now these Artex markers actually act really similar to Posca markers. The main difference being that these markers have an awesome brush nib. And they're acrylic based instead of paint based, so they're a little bit different here and there. But whether or not they're paint based or they're acrylic based, both these Posca markers and Artex markers are so satisfying. So listen to this. See, like, just look at that. So in all honesty, if you're looking for the most satisfying and trendy art supply, these Artex markers or Posca markers are definitely the way to go. However, the main sort of catch or disadvantage with these paint markers is that they can't really blend that well. And I'll show you what I mean. Here we have two Artex markers right here. First, let's lay down the yellow. Now our orange. And you'll see it just goes right over the top of the first one. Let me try to go back with the yellow. I mean, that's honestly not that bad, but as you can see, the main attraction of these markers is that literally, because they're paint based, I can just paint right over anything, which is really cool. However, if you're like me and you love smooth, satisfying blends, just like this Spider-Man right here, then I couldn't recommend you anything better than this bad boy right here. This is my baby. Oh, very heavy baby. If you don't know, these are Ohuhu markers. They are becoming one of the best alcohol marker brands in the world because of their color selection, their semi-affordable price, and of course their blending ability, which you can see in all my artworks across my Instagram. I'll put some of them right here. They are becoming my favorite marker brand to use in the world. And along with Ohuhu markers, we also have the more premium brand, which is Copic markers. And I don't have a fancy case to carry my Copic markers, I just have this big tub. They are the most high quality and premium marker brand in the entire world. And if you want to see a video of me comparing what they look like on paper and their blending ability, you can check this short video here. But otherwise, it just depends on budget and how high quality you want your markers to be. But both brands are absolutely amazing and I highly recommend them both. But now, last but not least, I want to show you an art supply that I haven't seen anyone use in years. But it is one of the coolest things you will ever see. You just gotta wait. Just hear me out, you need to see this. These are Charmeleon markers. And remember at the start of the video where I said I had markers that could blend by themselves? These are those markers. Let me show you what I mean. So say I got my little yellow marker here and I want to blend it to red. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open this red cap, open my yellow marker cap, attach the red to the yellow until they're touching right there. And once that sits for a little bit, you'll see they unlock a superpower. Okay, it's been a second and the marker's ready. So let's take it off and you'll see that the end of the yellow nib is now red. So when we go to draw, it slowly fades to yellow. Look at that. Tell me that's not like the coolest thing ever. But honestly, I haven't seen anyone on social media use these markers to their full potential. So if you get onto it early, you could be on the brink of going absolutely viral and making these like most trending markers ever. But that's up to you guys to cop some Charmeleon markers. I'll put those in the description as well. But unfortunately, that is all the art supplies I got for you guys today. But I honestly had a lot of fun making that video. This is also a very different type of video to what I usually make. So if you guys enjoyed, please let me know in the comments down below if you want to see a part 2 of this series or any other things you want me to review, make videos on. I got you guys. But until then, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.